Thanks for tuning into the channel. Today we're going to be talking how much can you make on Turo. If you're thinking about doing Turo, that's probably the biggest thing on your mind. Is it worth doing? How much money can I make? How much should I spend? Should I finance? Should I get a cash car? All those questions. And why would you take any tips or advice from me? Well, all I could do is tell you my opinion and my experience from doing Turo for over 2 years. In the description box, I do have a link of all the tools that I use that's helped me um, and my Toro journey, made it easier for me. So I think it definitely make it better for you if you're already on the platform or if you're thinking about joining. It shows my lockbox, my no smoking stickers, and the lockbox is very convenient because I don't have to be there. And the no smoking stickers really help people not smoke in the cars. They're not foolproof, but they're things that help, right? Someone could smoke in the car even if it says no smoking, but these things have helped me. It can help you. So I went ahead and put that in the description box. I'm also working on a Toro guide for those of you that are thinking about doing it and have a lot of questions. I'm going to be basically making guide answer, with all the questions I can think of that I've had myself with answers to help any newcomers. If you think that would help you, it helped me by letting me know in the comments below. If you think you benefit from it and be interested in it, let me know. Now, I did put in the title, how much can I make? How much did I make with a $10,000 car? Because some of you are thinking about buying a cash car. And you might be wondering, did he buy a car for $10,000? Where did the $10,000 come from? And I'm going to explain all that. But I'm going to share my screen to get into it. So we're going to share the screen. Right here. Let's see, perfect. I'm sharing it. I'm actually on the Turo website. So all this information is on the Toro website, so it's easy to find. I wanted to bring your attention to it in case you're not aware, because this is a useful tool to get some ballpark ideas. If you're thinking about buying a car for the platform, or you're thinking about maybe starting with your own car that you already have, you can look it up and kind of get an idea how much it will give you. So if I was in the market to buy a $10,000 car, or you are, and the reason I picked $10,000 because that was the lowest it would let me use, I would want to know, hey, if I have $10,000 to go buy a car, how much could I make off that $10,000 and how long and things like that? And boom, you can use this Toro. You can use the Toro website to figure this out. Now, I'm going to tell you from my experience, I live in Florida. I'm going to tell you from my experience if I think this is accurate or if it's pretty decent, because I've been doing Toro again for over 2 years. The cars that I've used are on here as examples. All the cars are on here. And I'm going to tell you if the estimate for the vehicle that I have on the platform, if it came in way too high, too low, or if it was pretty accurate. So that can give you an idea how accurate this is going to be. So let's get a close up here. So here it is. It's called the Toro calculator. If you want to go on Google and just type that up, it'll pop up a lot faster for you. Instead of just going Toro.com, it'd probably be a little bit harder. So easier way to get right to this page is going to go on Google, type the Toro calculator. Should get you right to this. And then region, right? For region, you want to select where you live. So if you live in Chicago, you pick Chicago. For me, we're going to pick Orlando. Then it says vehicle budget range. You can see it starts at it starts at $10,000 and up. And that's why I picked the number 10,000. I'm going to start from 10,000 to 25 because that's the starting column. So we're going to start with that. And we're going to have it update the information. So I put the Orlando for region, I put the car budget, and there you go. You're gonna get here automatically a populated 10 cars, right? So we'll just start with the Ford Focus for number 1. It says the estimate value for this example that they're providing is a little bit over $10,000. It's $11,000. they're saying that annual loan costs. So if you were to finance this car, it's going to be a little close to 25, right under 2,500, and the average earnings. They're predicting that you're going to make about 80, close to $8,200 gross on the car. So, and then it says your rate of return right here. It says 230.2%. That doesn't look bad. Basically, in 1 year, you can make what the estimate value is of the car. So if you bought the car, let's say you bought the car cash for, let's say you find, because car prices are going down. I know some of you don't believe this. Some of you may disagree, but I feel the ones that disagree with me are under a rock. It's a ton of YouTubers are talking about the car market, how the car market's changing. And basically, what I'm trying to get to this, it's easier now to get a car at a lower price point. You could probably, if you were interested in a Ford Focus, get it for $10,000, put it on Turo, and likely to make around $8,100. Now, I can't guarantee you that, right? That's just an example. But if you look, you can find a good deal on a Ford Focus, and you could probably do pretty well. And if it's a cash car, you don't have to worry about annual loan costs because you won't be paying any interest, meaning you're going to make more money. So this is a good way to, if you have some cash saved up in the bank, this is an option. Not saying to do it, but I'm just saying this is an option to put your money to work for you and start creating you a source of income. Because there's a lot of people that I meet and they'll have some money saved up in their bank account and they're like, man, I really would like to do something. But sitting in just a bank account, let's say like Chase, for example, or a bank like Chase, which is nothing wrong with those companies, but they don't really give you any interest for having your money in the bank account. It's just they're basically all they can say, hey, it's safe here. So you have the peace of mind, hey, your money's safe there, but it's not really producing you an income and it's not really growing. It's just safe. But with inflation and as time goes by, right, things tend to go up in value. Even though the market's kind of slowing down, some of you might be saying prices are going to come down. Even if there was a slowdown in the market, even if we went into a recession and prices came down, it won't be forever, right? Those prices will eventually start to go back up. The economy, if it did, I'm not saying that we're going into recession, but if we did, the economy will eventually bounce back, right? It's not, if we went into recession, wouldn't be the first time. The economy tends to bounce back and come back stronger, meaning you want to know, sorry, if you have some money, this could be an option because I'd rather have my money producing a source of income for me than just sitting there depreciating. Even if markets came down, you might feel, well, I'm winning with the money just sitting there in the bank. And that's fine if that's what you want to do. I'm not saying that that's the right thing or the wrong thing, but I'm saying, and instead of just sitting in bank, not doing much for you, think about some options where you can make money. Now, it's always smart, no matter what, to always have a safety nest, to have some money there on the sidelines in case you lose your job or something goes wrong. So I'm not saying don't have any money in savings, but a good tip is, in my opinion, got some money. Hey, this could be an option. Buy a cash car, put it on Toro, but just look at the risks. There are risks. You could buy a car and the car can get stolen, can get an accident. So it's definitely risk, but it could also go well for you and you can make some money. And here's the calculator. $10,000 car could potentially, not guaranteed, but could potentially give you a good rate of return. And you might want something more detailed. You might say, well, that's great that Toro's giving me 10 examples. First one, Ford Focus. We got a Dodge Caravan. Number 3, Ford Fiesta. Number 4, Dodge Journey. And you see the list long, and you might say, but I don't want any of the cars in this list of that they have. And that makes sense, right? Because you might look at these 10 cars and you might, no matter how the numbers look here, you might just say, I'm not interested in any of these. Well, if you go down to the bottom, you can search. Maybe you already know, hey, I want a Toyota Corolla, for example. You didn't see it there, but you're going to go here and put where you live, right? This, for me, I'm going to put Orlando. And then you're going to select the car. So I'm going to select Toyota Corolla because that's the car I was actually the car that I purchased to do Toro, was a Toyota Corolla. Now, here it says estimate value, average earnings. for me, when I started Toro a little bit over 2 years ago, the first car I went out and bought specifically for Toro after trying Toro out with my personal vehicle was a brand new Toyota Corolla LE. And I bought that car. What was that car? I don't remember the exact number, but what I do know was in the low 20s. I believe the MSRP was 22, 23. And at the time, there was the market was a little bit higher price, meaning those shits weren't coming down. I pretty much got that car MSRP at the time, and out the door with taxes, dealer fee, and tags, it went close to 25,000. That's out the door. That's with tax and everything. And then I did finance it, so that's not with the finance amount. With the finance, it did go over 25,000, but just the out the door. And my payment on the car was under $400 for 6 years. And you might be wondering, well, what about insurance? With the insurance, I got the ABI, the American Business Insurance. That's with the tracker and everything, about $100. So I was under 500. I was a little above the mid 400s on the car, and I was making about double. What I mean by that, the car was costing me, let's say 450, and I was making about $900 on the car. It depended on the month. Some months was a little bit over 900. Some months was a little bit under 900, but that's why I say double, right? So I made enough to cover the overhead of the car, which was the payments for me, the car insurance, and then I had another $450 extra to put in my pocket every month, which was nice. And because I bought it brand new, it came with a Toyota Care. So the first 2 years or up to 25,000 miles, whatever came first, the maintenance was covered. So I didn't have to worry about the oil changes and tire rotations. I was covered for the first 2 years or 25,000 miles, whatever came first. And when I did my math on the car, when at the end of the year, my earnings were over $7,200. Let me bust out here the calculator. I was making about 900. Yeah, I made literally close to $11,000 at the end of the year. Now, this is gross, but that's what I made. 450 times 12. So the car cost me for the year with insurance and everything about a little over 5,000. Not bad, in my opinion. And this was no money down. Just financed the car, started making me money, didn't have to pay any money out of pocket for the car, just to start the LLC. That I did have to pay out of pocket in the beginning. So there were some costs, but I was able to pay myself back with putting the car on the platform, and it performed well. Now, because it performed well for me, doesn't mean it will perform exactly like that for you. But I can tell you in the Orlando area, when I started with a Corolla, my earnings were higher than the example here on the Toro calculator website, which is a good thing, because I rather the estimates be under and I actually make more doing it. That's a good thing. But I could see this, at least for me, from my experience, these numbers don't look bad because I made more. So if I went based off these numbers, I would have actually done better. Now, you do want to calculate, though, the depreciation, because cars do lose value. And that when you go get rid of that car, that's really when you're going to know, did you make money or not? Because there are people that are upside down. Luckily, I kept that car for 1 year, the Toyota Corolla. I got rid of it. A lot of people wonder, well, why did you get rid of the car so quickly? It had about close to 20,000 miles. The reason I did that, I worked for a rental car company, and rental car companies tend to get rid of their cars within a year, sometimes a little over, but they tend to keep their cars new. Basically, what I learned when I used to rent cars years back, basically doing it with my little side hustle on Toro, new cars, rent them, and then get rid of them, I was able to get out of this car and I was not upside down. And the way you're able to do that is getting a good purchase deal, and you got to do research. I have videos about that. But if you're wondering, well, where's your $10,000 car? I didn't do exactly 10,000 car. Well, how I did it finance with no money down. I financed the car, put it on the platform, and that was the first car, Toyota Corolla, and I stuck with the economy cars. Now I have Sentras. I feel like when I went car shopping, I was getting a better value with the Sentra, so I switched to Sentra. But I love the Toyota Corolla, fantastic car in my opinion. But I think the lease on Sentra is great. It gives me about the same return, and I've been able to purchase this lease on Sentra is brand new, cheaper than the Corolla, has more options, and I'm getting the same amount of money. So by the car being cheaper and getting the same amount of money, technically I'm making more, and that's why I switched to Sentra. If you're wondering what am I making on a Corolla Sentra, it's just right there. There's the numbers. I'm making a close to $11,000 gross by using these economical cars brand new. So buying a car brand new, no money down payment, and within the first year, I'm making about close to $11,000. Now, if you go buy cash car, and you can use this tool. Now, I know there's different levels when it comes to cash cars. There's cash cars that are under 10,000. There's cash cars that are 10,000. There's cash cars that are higher. There's a group of people that want to do like I do, buy the car and finance it. There's going to be a group of people that just want to buy cash. And some people want to do a mix. They want to do both. They want to grow with finance and cash because they want to get bigger faster, and that's one way. But with this tool right here, starts with 10,000 up to 25. You could put here and kind of get an idea. Hey, if I had $10,000 and I bought this car, I could roughly maybe make $7,000 to $8,000 a year. Not bad. And within 1 year, almost make all that money. Now it's gross, so obviously there's going to be expenses. So if gross you made $8,000, you're not gonna really have $8,000 in your pocket. You may only have $5,000, and $3,000 would have went into maintenance on the vehicle and other things. But if in 1 year you made half your money already, and imagine if you kept that car for 2 or 3 years, you're probably going to double your money. Now, I'm not saying that that's exactly going to happen, right? Because I don't know exactly what will happen. Some people are more successful on the platform than others. That really depends on the individual, how they run it, how they do it. But these are tools that you can use to get an idea of maybe the possibilities that you may be able to accomplish. So if you wanted to buy a car for $10,000 and see, how much you can make, there you go. The Turo calculator tool can give you a ballpark. It looks like you can make about half your money within the first year. It's a possibility. Not bad. In my opinion, it's a pretty good side hustle. It's not difficult. Some people succeed on Turo, some people fail on Turo. It really depends on you, the effort you put in it, and how you manage your side hustle. Some people are really organized and they really do the numbers. And those are the ones that I feel are going to have a better shot being successful. And then you got people that they're like, oh, it's just my side hustle. They don't put good attention to it. They're messy. They're not good at delivering the cars on time. They're dirty, and they don't look for a good deal when they buy the car. They just go and do everything super quickly. If you're going to run your side hustle or anything like that, you're probably not going to succeed in it. And most likely you're going to fail and say it's no good. And it's not the Turo, it's not the platform, it's not their system, it's you. You're disorganized, you're messy. And a lot of us don't want to take ownership of our flaws, because you can be successful on Turo, but I see a lot of people that are not. And some of the reasons to that, they're running it super disorganized, and they're not tracking things like they should. If you're doing a 9 to 5 and you're doing Toro, you got to go there inside the settings and adjust it to accommodate your schedule. So if you do go and buy this $10,000 car or whatever purchase price is in cash, for you to make money, you got to be organized. Even if you don't buy a cash and you want to go the finance route, I already let you know the possibilities here with the Toro calculator. I let you know, me, a real person doing Toro, how much I've made financing in the Florida area, to give you, hopefully, to give you more information to help you make your choice. So hopefully you found all that helpful. If you did, smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Check out the description box. I got everything I use on there for you. If you're starting your platform, hey, here's a lockbox I use that's been working for me that could help you. The no smoking stickers. And if you think the Toro guide would be helpful to you, let me know in the comments below so I can get that created even quicker. I really appreciate you watching. See you on the next one.